Go shop Charleston.com. It's Charleston's newest website for shopping for everything. Find local sales, coupons, features, reviews, maps, and more. Go shop Charleston.com.
Good to have you with us for another edition of My Charleston Today, presented by PNC TV. I'm Warren Pepper. It's a compelling interview in today's Post and Courier with one of the major suspects in a local murder-for-hire case. Suspect Russell Wilkinson says the plot was 100% real. With South Carolina Journalist of the Year Glenn Smith, who was at the jail for the interview with Wilkinson, how would you characterize his demeanor or his credibility?
He seemed a rather desperate man, wanting to tell his own story. His details very much closely matched what he had provided to the ATF in the affidavit about a week or so ago. He seemed consistent with the details. He seemed like he wanted to get across the idea that he, while not being a rather upstanding guy, had done what he could to save this woman's life.
His motivation also for self-preservation of his own, is that possible?
Yeah, he said that he was scared to death of his co-defendant, Mr. Yenawine, that Mr. Yenawine had been on all sorts of drugs and had threatened him and was a violent guy. And he also, I think, is trying to be the first guy in the door to possibly get a deal from the feds when the case goes down.
Continue to follow the reporting. Glenn Smith, Natalie Kalla also working this as well, and it'll be continuing in the Post and Courier. The other story that continues to generate heavy interest involves Mark Sanford and his ex-wife's charge of trespassing. Jenny Sanford says the former governor has continually ignored an agreement not to come to her home. He says his last trip there in February was to watch the Super Bowl with his 14-year-old son because the boy was home alone. The national GOP says it's backing away from the ex-governor after the latest unflattering pieces of information. To show support for Boston, a hastily organized 5K race is planned for downtown Charleston this Sunday. It'll start at Colonial Lake. It's free and will include a moment of silence, and participants are encouraged to wear any former race t-shirt. Again, it's free and solely to support Boston. That's Sunday morning at 8 o'clock at Colonial Lake. That'll do it for another edition of My Charleston Today, presented by PNC TV. Thanks for watching. I'm Warren Pepper.